Alright, our topic is going to be the addition and subtraction of fractions. And I just wanted to point out that the very key idea here is that we must have a common denominator. And so you might want to put some asterisks around it and triple exclamation points to remember that the denominator must be the same in order to add fractions. So if we start with one that maybe is a good warm-up for this topic, I can take 3/5 and add 1/5. And what I'm actually going to do is add the numerators and keep the denominators. So I'm going to have 3 plus 1 divided by 5. So my answer is going to be 4/5. And I can mark that with a box. Okay. Now if I took another pair of fractions, I'm going to take 3x over 7 and I'm going to subtract 2 over 7. With the common denominators, I can immediately write that my answer is going to have 7 in the denominator. The numerator, though, I'm going to take the 3x and I'm going to subtract 2. And in this case, I have no common terms here, no similar terms here, so I can't simplify this any further. My answer will be 3x minus 2 over 7. Now if I take one more example, I'll have 2 over x, and I'll add 5 over x. And in this case, my x is the common denominator. So when I add the numerators together, my answer is 7 over x. Now I'd like to pause here for a moment and discuss something that we haven't talked about yet so far in this session, and that is that sometimes we have fractions that we restrict in a certain way. The restriction is on the possible values of x, or whatever happens to be in our denominator. In the case of the first two examples, there were no restrictions because the denominator is just a number. There's nothing that I can do to 7 that's legal math that will make it into a 0. For this last example, though, if x happens to equal 0, then I'll have that divide by 0 error. So my complete answer for this last example is going to include a restriction that x is not allowed to equal 0. So anything that makes this denominator 0 is not allowed. Right, so we'll pause here and move on to the next section.